How's everybody doing? Today is May 1st, and may the 1st be with you. We have a pretty good show for you today, guys, so I hope you enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and let's take a walk through the political forest. I don't know what this light over my shoulder is doing, but I'm going to let it be. So, starting off today, we have something along the lines of dueling allegiance. Two U.S. military personnel, not one, but two, are under investigation for potential terrorist collusion. Oh God, that's the dirty word. Collusion. Collusion. This light's gonna drive me nuts. I can't take it. Let's kill that light. All right, yes. Collusion. So these two people, and at first it started off as one, and then it started off as then it ended up with two, and now we are here, and there's a potential three. But yes, two of them are under investigation right now. The individual who described himself as a Hamas operative was indicted alongside a Jewish woman and a Pittsburgh man. This group was accused of planning to use explosives for a violent attack. And yes, they had these pipe bombs already made and ready to go. What in the blue hell is going on with our U.S. military? It's crazy. So the operative reportedly claimed, "I've been a terrorist since I was a kid," highlighting the seriousness of the allegations, guys. He's telling you that I was already in it to win it and go boom, boom from a little boy. So this is the problem I have with this, because we have this system in the United States where people are coming to our country and becoming citizens of our country and doing it the right way and declaring allegiance to America, but somehow, some way, in some way, shape, and form, we're getting these people that do this dueling allegiance crap. So what is really going on here? And so let's take a look at the charges. The charges include conspiracy to use these weapons for mass destruction, whatever charge that is. It sounds like something a Democrat made up. Why not just say conspiracy to be a damn terrorist? And then it's almost like that Metcalf Austin situation where the guy said, alleged, I did it. This guy told you. He told you. It's like, nah, I've been a terrorist since the beginning. And this also underscores the gravity of the situation and the potential threat posed by the accused person, because he was colluding with other individuals that had connections to Hamas. This raises other concerns about the security of our military. We are so worried about social media apps leaking information when we got terrorists right in our own military. And this kind of reminds me of the situation where that one black lady from South Carolina said, we're going to infiltrate their party and run as Republicans and be Democrats, aka rhinos, Republicans in name only. And this kind of sort of is reminiscent of this, because this guy, it was a terrorist from the beginning, joins our U.S. military as a U.S. citizen, and now is planning to use boom boom sticks, because they were pipe bombs. But this is a real concern overall in the U.S. military, because it's growing. Last week we covered the Chinese people doing things, selling secrets. Now we have boom boom people, as I like to call them, the towel heads. They're wanting to use mass destruction within our own military. So I think honestly and wholeheartedly, this is a concern that we need to take more precautions. If you want to do these whole background checks, universal background checks, Democrats focus more on them, the military. You should comb through every iota of these people's lifestyle. And honestly, wholly and truly, I believe that if you come from a non-U.S. country, or a country that's not even a territory of the United States, you shouldn't get to serve in the military. I know that sounds crazy and maybe unconstitutional in some way, shape, or form, but these threats are growing. It's clear, because it seems like every single week I'm reporting on it and the news is reporting on it, that we have individuals that are colluding with other nations, selling secrets and now plotting to blow crap up. But in other news, some justice is being found because we got Miss Hannah Dugan. I can't call her judge anymore because she's been charged with 2 felony counts. 2 felony counts related to ICE. In her situation where she violated quite a few, which is crazy to me. She violated quite a few U.S. codes and laws. 18 USC 1114, 18 USC 111, to name a few, where she legitimately aided and abetted a known criminal to avoid ICE. So Miss Dugan was arrested by the FBI and accused of assisting this man from avoiding immigration. And what's crazier still about this story, I know a lot of people are talking about Trump's arresting judges. He's arresting judges. Oh, dictator. No, what's crazier about this is that this immigrant, illegal, as it were, was actually going to court for a crime they had committed to actually face, judgment for what they had done. And this woman, as weird as it may be, protected him from ICE. He was going to go to jail unless she was just going to, it's okay, Pablo. It's okay. We're going to let you go. They're going to let you go. Oh, no. Someone said ICE is on the way. Get out, Pablo. Run, run. What is going on in America where we protect known criminals, also illegal aliens that have broken the law by entering here illegally, and we're protecting them, but we're dropping the ban hammer on American citizens? It is by far one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. But this case gets weirder because there's other judges doing this. We had the judge in New Mexico arrested, and he was letting them just live up in his house. He had Tren de Agua. He had MS-13 members living in his house. Hey, come on. We're one big happy family. I think he really was living the thought process of, hey, if you come over, my doors are open to you. If the borders are open, my doors are open to you. I wish more Democrats were like this. Maybe we would have less Democrats. I know that sounds mean, but it's problematic. But Miss Dugan plays along another story we'll talk about later, but it's just crazy. Honestly and truly, it's pretty crazy. But don't think that I'm a one-sided pony, because we have fraudulent reps, and I'm an equal opportunity offender. Former Representative U.S. George Santos was a U.S. Republican representative, was sentenced to 7 years for fraud. George Santos has been sentenced to those 7 years, and specifically 87 months to be exact, for involvement in fraud and identity theft. Come on, Mr. Santos. What is going on? We know that the Democrats do this kind of stuff, but what is going on, Pimpin'? Are you having a midlife crisis? He pleaded guilty to multiple counts of federal fraud, which included misrepresenting his financial status and deceiving donors. That sounds like Joe Biden. Come on now, because we know for a fact that Joe Biden couldn't account for that $5.2 million. Where did the 5.2 come from, Joe? The big guy. But now George Santos is doing the same thing, and rightfully so. Lock him up. 7 years, not long enough. Make an example of him, like you would do to one of the citizens of the United States of America. Lock him up. Give him 25 to life. I promise you, if these people actually face real retribution for their actions and not thrown into this white plush collar jail where they got someone bringing them a martini every morning and they get to eat fruits while sitting in the yard in their all white jumpsuits, and actually put them in Gen Pop, in a max security prison, at a federal prison at that. Watch all of these people that do insider trading and fraud and all this other stuff tighten up in the butthole and fly right. Because if you or I would have done this realistically, what would have happened? 7 years wouldn't even have been on the table. They would have thrown every possible day on us. life even. All over what? Lies. But these people get these little, it's okay. Here's 7 years. It's bad, but we're gonna put you in this retreat prison, where you get to hang out with others like you. Nah, put them in there with the MS-13 and in Trinidad Agua individuals, gang members, terrorists. So the public's reaction to this is the sentencing has drawn a lot of media attention, rightfully so, and the people are in shock. They're in shock. I wasn't shocked when I first looked at this story. I was like, come on, bro. You're a Republican of all things. And I know both sides are bad. But the Republicans are a little less bad, right? At least that's the image they give off. But bro, how'd you get caught? You should have took lessons from, Nancy Pelosi or Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, somebody, because you did a bad job, very bad job, and you deserve everything you get. Preferably, I think you should violate while you're in there and get some more years so you can learn your lesson. But in other news, China loves drugs. Yeah, China loves drugs. And this story was funny to me explicitly because China's putting tariffs on everything, but more specifically, some things are getting tariff exemptions. And drugs happen to be one of them. U.S. pharmaceuticals are exempt from the 125% retaliatory tariffs from China. So these Chinese people love drugs. They know that U.S. got that good stuff. They got that good stuff. So China decided to exempt the U.S. pharmaceuticals from the import tariffs because they need the drugs. The critical goods infrastructure of the Chinese authorities are asking that firms identify specific things as involving, U.S. pharmaceuticals so that they could release tariffs on them altogether. Like literally 0 tariffs on anything that is drug related coming out of the U.S. for them. Well, U.S. pharmaceutical drug related. Got to be specific because, otherwise might think that we're shipping them fentanyl, Nah, we're not doing that. So reports suggest that the exemptions may include products like ethane, which is used, which has seen its tariff waived recently, and other like drugs like, the hard stuff, the stuff that makes you not feel pain. Overall, I think it's pretty funny that you want to tariff the crap out of the United States, but you on everything else, but those drugs, boy, gotta keep that drug going. And why not since you have no intellectual property rules and regulations and patents, why not just copy our drugs? Oh, that's right. You don't have the industry for it. Yeah, you don't have the R&D. Yeah. You need to come to Big Daddy Push over here called the US for your drugs, huh? Meet us in the back alley of Ukraine. We'll get you good. Slide you a few Quaalos. Yeah. So moving on from that it's crazy altogether that this tariff war is going on, but it does need to be done to kind of rectify and recorrect the course that the United States was going, because at the rate we were going, by 2034, the United States would have been totally at the mercy of China, realistically, and other nations that we import from. So something to think about. Like I mentioned earlier about, the Democrats loving illegals, this next segment goes on to talk about why do Dems love illegals? So in light of what happened to Miss Dugan, we see that Governor Evers of Wisconsin, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miss Dugan comes out of Wisconsin herself, but his administration put out a letterhead instructing all state employees to protect the illegals from ICE, from the cold, baby, from the cold. And I really think that Hannah Dugan was connected to this letterhead. I think that she took it to heart. My governor really wants me to protect these people. By the way, Governor Evers is as blue as they come. You don't get any bluer than that. But the Evers administration has issued this memo urging the state workers to exercise caution if ICE agents appear at their workplaces. So the states aren't in compliance to federal law, where these federal laws supersede state laws constitutionally, of course. to protect America, and they're just, nah, we're gonna protect her. We're gonna protect their little buddies. Gotta protect them. So this guidance is aimed at protecting the employees amongst protecting the illegals and ensuring their rights are respected. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, because if a U.S. citizen did any of this crap, you would see outrage and the justice system just fall on top of them. But this memo has sparked significant debate, particularly among political circles. Some Republican lawmakers in particular have criticized the guidance, and they argue it is something that undermines the law enforcement, and the Constitution, because these people are making great strides and efforts to shut down all and anything related to Trump's EO to get these people out of here. And they don't need to be here in the first place. If we were to go to Mexico and do what they do here, we would be deported immediately. It wouldn't be any question. They'd be like, what are you, hey, Ohms, what are you here for? I'm just here to hang out, live off of your land, maybe get some, free Pampers with some food stamps. No, get out. Goodbye. You violate again, we're throwing you into prison. And those Mexican prisons, boy, they get real down and dirty. Might catch some stinky burritos. You catch my drift, or just have your life ended. But I digress. Let's talk about something a little bit brighter. How about the deal maker in chief? Yeah. The White House says that Trump administration has made 18 major deal proposals, and they're down on paper. So it goes from someone making a proposal, then it gets written down on paper, and then it gets pushed through legislation in some way, shape, or form, or the deal is just made strictly with the executive branch, and we make good on those deals. The White House has announced that the Trump administration currently has 18 trade proposals specifically, which indicates a significant effort to engage in trade negotiations with other countries. And some of these countries are the ones that have already asked for, 0% tariffs proceeding forward. And it's nice to see that the tariffs are working. I know we talk about tariffs a lot, but that seems to be the word of the day and the word of the month and the word of the last 100 days of his administration. It's been bonkers because I hate the word, but at the same time, you're finally starting to see things look good due to tariffs. And I can't wait to see how the Democrats spin this. Oh, 18 is not enough. He's ruined us. All these other countries are going against us and making it worse and harder on us. Do you understand that we have over 700,000 cattle farms in the United States? And China cut us out to make trade deals with cattle with Australia, who have 22,000 cattle farms. The vast majority of not Australia's cattle farms get eaten by their own people. They only export like 0.4% of, or no, sorry, 0.58% of their totality of their, cattle. The rest goes to their country. Do you honestly think that Australia can facilitate China, who takes almost double what they produce in totality of Australia? So these tariffs are going to work. And what Australia is going to find out is that they can't facilitate this, and they're going to get strangled out. And then China is going to be like, where's our beef? We need beef for beef lo mein. And then they're going to come back to the United States because, yeah. You're going to be making some deals, baby. You're going to be making some deals. It's all just a matter of time. Personally, I believe anywhere from 18 months to 2 years, you're going to see a drastic change. Others are saying even as early as 8 months. We'll see. 8 months could see a change. Some are even saying as early as June or July, we'll see a drastic change in all of these trade deals. And we're already starting to see China kind of like buckle at the knees in other areas. And speaking of trade deals, I got this information yesterday. It's not a part of the show. However, which I don't have any screen for it. However, did you know that Ukraine made the mineral deal? I don't know if they're going to be getting the deal that they wanted that was originally on the table, but the deal has been made. So we will see potentially how this deal unfolds. And as time goes on, we can actually look into what is in the deal and how it pertains to America, because I don't really care about Ukraine. Give us your minerals. You should have done it in the first place, and the war probably would have been over by now, and your people would have been safe. Zelensky, you don't care about your people. If you did, you would have made the deal earlier. But you wanted to keep that war going on because you know your parliament wants your butt out. Out. And it seems that this stronghold that Trump is putting on the world with tariffs is working, because we put tariffs on Ukraine too. So they can't handle a tariff and a war. You lost that war the day it started. But Biden and his administration made you feel like you had it. They gassed you up. You got gaslit, and now you're broke. You're broke. So we will see how that plays out. In other news, as a follow up from last week, we are going to talk about how Google, remember, they got sued. And they're having to break up their monopoly in some way, shape, or form. Could Google Chrome become AI Chrome? OpenAI wants to purchase Google Chrome, and if Google loses the legal battle that they're going through right now, OpenAI executive mentioned during a court hearing that he would take his company and be interested in buying the browser, which would be great. It would be actually great, because all the bloatware and the spyware that's built in and baked into Google Chrome. By the way, I haven't used Google Chrome in so long. And as we saw what happened to, what's that guy's name? I always forget his name. He's got the really, Alex Jones. As the courts forced Alex Jones to sell his company, I believe the courts are going to force Google to sell theirs. And OpenAI will be right there to swoop it up. And I'm interested in to see if this acquisition of Google Chrome happens, how they will actually gut it, because it is a heavy processing program on your computer, and you don't even realize that all the background processes are running, and they're collecting more data than China. Let's just face it. And some of that data is being sold to China. This is why anytime you talk around your phone, get a VPN on your phone. I'm not sponsored by them, but get a VPN on your phone, please. Please. There's plenty of VPNs out there. What is the one that I have on my computer? Let's see here. Give me a second, because I do want to. I think it's ExpressVPN. One of the best ones. I used it for years until I actually created my own VPN. But get a VPN on your phones so you can stop having your phone listen to you. If you got Safari, it listens to you. You got Google Chrome on your phone, it listens to you. Heck, if you got it on your computer and you're speaking into your computer in some way, shape, or form, it is listening to you. So I'm interested in to see how the AI acquisition takeover would change and will change Google Chrome. And this is a very strategic move on their part and would be huge for the consumers, because OpenAI is exactly what its name is. It's open. It's open source. So you get to see everything, source code down to the nitty gritty. And if you see something you don't like, let them know about it. They'll change it. So we'll see how that goes in the near future. Hopefully it gets a little bit better. Hopefully Google really loses it. I'm over Google, because they have been a monopoly for a long time, and it's finally coming to light that they are a monopoly and they need to be corrected. I'm anti-monopoly. But in other news, China has taken claim. They've staked claim to Sandy Cay, Cay Island, and their Coast Guard took claim of it and said that it was a sovereign territory of China because it's in the South China Sea. However, this may present a problem overall, because the U.S. conducts joint military trainings in that area, and the Sandy Cay Island is real close to the Philippines, which is an island as well, but it's real close. So if the United States is actually conducting joint military training, could the future of that training be seen as a declaration of war from the United States? Because we know that the Philippines happen to be a territory in sorts of the United States, but could us being there training with the Filipino people be seen as a declaration of war overall because we're doing something near China and we're inside that buffer zone by being there and doing this. This happened in mid-April when they took this, and I've never seen a military asset assert sovereignty over anything, but they've done it. So I'm interested in to see, and I will, if something unfolds from this, follow up for you guys so you can really look into it. But this was an interesting story because it seems like, as my friend said, they're moving chess pieces around to do something or set something up for the future. And hopefully America is spying that out so that they don't fall prey to any, Hunger Games, essentially, because it really is a scramble for control. And we see a lot of nations making moves and moving major pieces across the board in order to prop up. And if you can't see it, you're either asleep or you're brain dead. Yeah. Most Democrats are brain dead. I just want to put that out there because you can show them the truth, put it in their hand, let them touch it, feel it, smell it, taste it, and they will still tell you that you're lying. Yeah, they will tell you that you're lying, but they got the thing in their hand. Speaking of Democrats, the South has risen again. They said it would happen. And the South has risen again. Mississippi and Louisiana are outperforming northern states for education. Yes, Tennessee and Alabama have made significant strides in improving their reading and mathematical comprehension. It's a beautiful day. So there's this little thing that they do with this program. It's the NAEP, where they give a national report card, essentially, showing who's smart and who's not smart. And for years, we've been told that the South is stupid. The South is stupid. They're dumb. Those podunk backwood hillbillies are stupid. And that was the narrative for a long time. However, through some deeper research, it has been shown that the South isn't as dumb as once previously thought. On a 1-to-1 metric, the South has been shown to be as smart, if not smarter, than New York. So Mississippi, poor state. Louisiana, not that much poorer than Mississippi or richer than Mississippi, have been shown to outperform New York in the 4th and the 8th grade. And those two grades are very, very pivotal because a lot of people don't understand that over the past few years, the 4th and 8th grade have been underperforming drastically across the nation. Not just these southern states or northern states, but the entire 50 states. They've been underperforming, overwhelmingly so. I believe last year, the 4th graders were reading at a 2nd grade reading comprehension level. Just last year. 8th grade mathematical scores were abysmal. So it's nice to see that overall, things are improving. But the issue overall, when we look at this, why the metrics change so wildly, is the South has more impoverished individuals and more illegals. So what they did is they took the 1-to-1 metric. So if you're rich, you're white, you're female or male, they compare them to all the rich, white, female, and male. If you're black, rich, and male and female, they compared those 1-to-1. And because the South had 20% total impoverished population, and the North only had a 10%, and the Western state, California, because we outperforming California too. Yeah. That's how that works. They just removed the bottom half of the 20%, so you could have a 1-to-1 comparison all the way across the board, because that additional 10% is what was dragging the South down as far as education. So if you really look at this ratio 1-to-1, it is a better outcome for the South, and the South has greatly risen from a disparity as being seen as stupid. So there's that story. Take it how you want it. Make it feel good, make it feel bad. I don't care. But I'm from the South, and I'm happy to see. By the way, let me brag on my state. Even without that metric change, North Carolina was still outperforming a lot of northern states and California. Yes, North Carolina, real smart. But I digress. Did you know that ICE shut down the club? Yeah. More than 114 total immigrants were detained, and 100 of them were arrested. Authorities conducted a raid at an illegal after-hours nightclub, resulting in the detention of all these people. God, boy, it's so beautiful. Trump is doing all the right things in all the right ways. It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And and every single last one of them has been seen to be illegal and behind on some of their, immigration status. So the operation details overall is involved in the federal and local officers that were a part of the border immigration enforcement crackdown, because in some states they are pairing the local state law enforcement with federal, and they're basically essentially deputizing them federally to be able to go out and act on the behalf of ICE, which is, of course, the federal agency. And they're out here just picking these people off left and right, and it's beautiful. This action aligns with, promises made by previous administrations to enhance immigration enforcement, but they never did. The only one that in the known history that cracked down heavily was Barack Obama, but he was just deporting everybody. He even deported your veterans. A few of its veterans, U.S. veterans, got deported because of him. But this is really cool, because Colorado has been a hot spot for, protecting the illegals. And their medical industry is just destroyed there because of these illegals. So I believe this will make a big turnaround, and I hope that Colorado continues to do this and be compliant with federal law that is also constitutional law, to see these people kicked out of our country. If you want to come here, come the right way. That's the only way it works, baby. The only way it works. So I'm with that. I'm with that in every way, shape, and form. Let's see. Not something that was in the show, but it's in the show. Did you know that there was a rumor going around that Trump was preventing Barack Obama from going to the NATO summit? Yeah, it was a lie. And again, like I said, I'm an equal opportunity offender. These rumors are being spread by the right, not the left, the right, saying that Trump is essentially keeping Obama from leaving the country to go to El Salvador. That's been mixed into this, and he can't go to the NATO summit. And these things spin off of Trump revoking Obama's security clearance for being able to be in the know on what's going on. And honestly, cool, but not cool at the same time, because we're not the left. The right-leaning individuals, the Republican individuals, the American conservative mindset people, we got to stop. We cannot allow this type of behavior to continue. We can't be Mr. Santos, because Mr. Santos is essentially trash, and we can't be like them. If you're going to be like them in a way and using their tactics, not be like them in taking on their mindsets, because their mindsets are depraved and disgusting and lost in the sauce, cultish, if you will. So we can't be like this. We can't do this. So let's stop with the rumors, verify, validate, and then present. If you're not verifying and validating on your own accord and then speaking on it, stop speaking. Shut up, because you would be no different than their talking heads. And we don't want talking heads. We're trying to fix this country, and we can't do it with you running your mouth, spreading rumors effectually. So just keep your mouth shut. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. In other news, I need gold. Yeah, give me gold. Gold has hit a record high, and this might not be that important to you, but anybody that's got gold on hand, don't sell it. Don't sell it. Cash is pointless. Unless you're going to sell it to go get cash to go buy something that is actually going to accrue equity for you and make money for you, don't do it. but $3,500.05 per troy ounce, reflecting a significant increase amid the ongoing economic uncertainty. Why is gold increasing? Well, gold is a precious commodity. Gold is used in your cell phones, in your computers, in your laptops, in your, I got a AI recorder. It's used in that. Gold is used in almost any and every electronic, your TVs, in some way, shape, or form. Uses gold. So this is what makes gold important. And if you have gold, they want it. They want it as bad as they can get it. Because our Federal Reserve, Fort Knox, empty. This is why they keep giving you those IOUs instead of giving you back the gold that they acquired in 1933 with the Banking Act. So the surge is largely attributed to investors seeking safe havens in their assets away from, things like the stocks, cash. They're looking for economic stability. And the demand for gold is typically going to rise to create financial stability amongst this instability with our cash. So this fiat system that we're on is trash. It's absolute trash. And I think I have a couple more things because I added some late stuff. Let's check this out. Did you know that Donald Trump has cured global warming? Yeah. Trump has cured global warming. Look at this. Would you look at that? Would you look at it? Somebody come look at this. Look. Come look at this. Trump putting those tariffs on the penguins in Antarctica has caused Antarctica to begin to freeze again. Lord have mercy. Don't believe it? This is a NASA website, by the way. Don't believe it? Check it out. Science Tech Daily, which is, they report on all scientific advancement. Antarctica's astounding rebound. It's because of the tariffs, baby. I'm not attributing it to anything else. Like, it was getting small. Now it's getting big again. And it didn't get big again until Trump put the tariffs on the penguins. I'm telling you. Look at this chart. Check this chart out. Is this not the craziest thing? And the chart says, from the start of satellite observation in 1979 to 2014, total Antarctic sea increased about 1% per decade. Whether the increase was a sign of meaningful change is uncertain because ice extents vary considerably from year to year around Antarctica. For 3 consecutive Septembers, 2012 to 2014, satellites have observed new record highs for winter sea ice extent. The highs occurred while the Arctic was seeing record lows. Donald Trump is the greatest of all time. Of all time. I've never seen anything like it at all. Man tariffs the Antarctic, and it starts freezing again. I'm just messing. That was a joke, but it's crazy amidst all of the tariff trade war stuff going on. So our Bible verse for today, it comes from Psalms 127:1. Unless the Lord builds the house, the builders labor in vain. Unless the Lord watches over the city, the guards stand watch in vain. So make sure you guys are standing watch and make sure you don't miss, the forest through the trees. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day.